The Doctor Who 60th anniversary special is out, and let's just say that it really does personify the current state of entertainment. Garbage. And naturally, anyone who goes and points this out and pushes back against the message gets labeled an istophobe.
The 60th anniversary special is a terse worst nightmare. Transphobes are mad about aliens having pronouns. Again. Tennant is back, but the woke police aren't going to be happy.
Yes, because God forbid that the unwashed masses voice their disdain over gender ideology. And yes, Doctor Who has become nothing more than just a delivery system for the message. And no, these are not my words. These are actually coming from the BBC. But if you've been indifferent to Who, this won't be the episode to convert you. And if you altogether are new to the show, you'll probably wonder what all the fuss has been about. And although the show has always been progressive, look at the number of stories over the decades about, for example, threats to the environment. This special is preachy, and by the end, little more than a delivery system for the message. Well, if you're wondering what all the fuss is about, the Doctor is talking to an alien and refers to him as him, and then proceeds to get chastised by the new Rose character. Here, check it out for yourself.
Yes, the meep. I promise I can help him get home and then you'll never see me again.
You're assuming he as a pronoun.
Considering all this takes place in the UK, and if the Doctor was real and actually didn't use the right pronouns for an alien, I can see that actually being a headline. Oh, wait a second. That actually is a real headline. What makes all this so funny is the fact that this is an alien from another planet. Why would they have the exact same issues when it comes to pronouns like us humans do? That just seems asinine and stupid and, quite frankly, lacking imagination. The whole point of science fiction is that it allows you to go and explore different options when it comes to aliens. Just look at the Asari in Mass Effect. You have a monosex species. That's pretty freaking cool. Same thing here with the Meep. Sure, the Meep can refer to itself as the Meep. Don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is the way they're pushing this. And if you're thinking it's just about aliens, no. This is nothing more than pushing gender ideology.
I'm sorry, I find it, patently ridiculous, people that are saying they can't imagine there being a transgender Furby in Doctor Who.
Personally, I find it patently ridiculous that trans Furby was actually used in a sentence. And if they're wanting to turn it into a clever, funny joke, well, they could have done something like this.
True. Yes, sorry, good point. Are you he or she?
I'm an alien, you retards. What makes you think I give a shit about things like pronouns? That's a human problem.
Oh.
This is not about being inclusive. This is actually about compelled speech. And in certain countries, and to a certain degree, certain states here in the United States, they're trying to make it illegal to misgender somebody. Think of it. You accidentally use the wrong pronoun and suddenly you find yourself going to jail. That is retarded. Out of all the crimes that exist on this planet, apparently that's the most important one. Misgendering and using the wrong pronouns. And if you think that misgendering somebody should actually be a crime, then clearly you have no real problems. But the issues don't stop there with this episode. It's not just about pronoun usage, it's also about bringing back David Tennant's Doctor, arguably one of the most popular Doctors in recent years, and then going and completely dressing him down because he has a penis.
Yes, we know. We know everything. Thanks. And you know nothing.
I can imagine David Tennant being like, I came back for this.
It's a shame you're not a woman anymore. Because she'd have understood.
We've got all that power, but there is a way to get rid of it. Something a male-presenting Time Lord will never understand.
Let it go.
And we choose to let it go.
Me personally, David Tennant is my favorite Doctor. And why bring him back just to go and shit all over the character? When it was announced that cis-gay man Russell T Davies was returning to Doctor Who, people thought it would be a return to form. Boy, were they wrong! And if you've seen this clip, it's very apparent that cis-gay man Russell T Davies has also been infected by the woke mind virus.
Time and society and culture and taste has moved on, and there's a problem with the Davros of old in that he's a wheelchair user who is evil. And I had problems with that, and a lot of us on the production team had the problems with that, of associating disability with evil. And trust me, there's a very long tradition of this.
Well, Wow, that seems to come off as a complete lack of self-awareness. When I reached out for a comment, cis gay man Russell T Davies responded with, well, it seemed like a good idea at the time. And the only reason why I'm saying cis gay man Russell T Davies is because clearly he's obsessed with gender and gender ideology, so I'm just gonna now refer to him as that, cis gay man Russell T Davies, because clearly that is the most important thing about him.
Doctor Who is getting review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes audience score for pissing off people who can't handle transmission characters on TV. I'll call that a signing success. Rotten Tomatoes audience scores are meaningless in my honest opinion.
Come on, man. Rotten Tomatoes hasn't been relevant for 4 years at this point, ever since they had to go and protect Captain Marvel from being review bombed. Now, I'm going to state the obvious. People with transmission fluid, God, I hate the fact that I have to dance around this, but we're on YouTube, make up a very small percentage of the population. This doesn't mean you can't have characters with transmission fluid, but they need to be more than just that. They need to be an actual realized character, which Rose is not. She's nothing more than a vehicle for the identity politics message. And that's ultimately what the problem is here. But of course, if you go and point this out, you're going to be labeled an istophobe. I have never seen so much ludicrous bullshit thrown into one episode of anything, and it wasn't just that it was thrown in, but written as the main part of the storyline. The problem is that there isn't anything wrong with people living their lives as who they want to be, as this episode makes clear. We also all have to be on board with the idea. Clearly, this person is a far-right istophobe for pointing out the obvious. And again, this illustrates my point when it comes to compelled speech. Not only do you have to accept it, you have to celebrate it. Because if you don't, you're clearly the problem. And that means that you need some form of re-education. Wilmer E., clearly yet another radicalized right-winger, this Doctor and Donna are my two favorites in the whole series, being chastised for how a person chooses to project as masculine or feminine is very disturbing. It seems like good writers pick key scenes for when the Doctor and Donna were interacting alone or with the mother. And then horrible writers filled in the rest of the episode. It had a really good premise, though I'm guessing that was ruined by bad writing. Such a wasted opportunity. That's right, some guy called Kevin, you're clearly pissing off all the right people. The average view-going audience. And quite frankly, I think that's a good thing. You know why? The faster this crash and burns, the faster we can move on to something else. Hopefully it will be good. Not holding my breath. So now comes the issue of, well, is this show actually being well received? And the answer is a resounding no. So let's go and start things off by taking a look at the viewership numbers. This episode received roughly 5 million views, which is 1 million more than the previous season with Jodie Whittaker. Now, her run, I would say, has been relatively low. In 2017 and 2018, it was up over 7 million. But for the most part, if you take a look at it, the peak was in 2009 with 10 million. And again, this is the last season with David Tennant and has been declining ever since. So the fact that they brought back one of the most popular doctors and it only received 5 million views, I would not consider to be a win. Now let's go and take a look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores. Now these numbers keep going down. Initially you had 100% on the critic score, and then it dropped down to 91, and now here we are at 90. And even the audience score has dropped down massively to 43%. So if this show is so wildly popular, why is the audience score 43%? And it's because the casual viewing audience is catching on. This is not entertainment, it's propaganda. I think that this anniversary special really does open up another front in the culture war because more and more normies are beginning to catch on as to what is actually going on. So it should be interesting to see how all of this plays out. Anyway, this is my take. What is yours? Leave a comment down below and hit that thumbs up on your way out. And if you also enjoy my content, I highly suggest you go and subscribe and check out this video right here popping up. I'll catch you next time, folks.